It's that time of the year where I'm going to controversially rank some bits of material that mean a lot to some people and not so much to others. Do remember that this is just an opinion of an Englishman who doesn't actually support anybody in Scotland. They are random bits of material and my opinions really don't matter. Speaking of random bits of material, I thought I'd put the most random kind of shirt that I have on display today. That is my Liverpool home shirt from around a decade ago with Lucas on the back. Of all people, yes, I decided to get Lucas Leiva on the back of one of my Liverpool shirts once. A hugely underrated player. There's going to be a few underrated kits in this video today. Obviously, the Scottish Premiership started at the weekend. It is now Monday, the day that I'm filming this. Probably going to release on the Tuesday. But it was actually seeing a kit up close that gave me the inspiration to do this video. Been meaning to do it for a while, but ever since I saw a kit at the weekend, I just thought this video has to be made purely for how nice it is in person. As is usually the way with these videos, we're going to start with what I think is the worst kit and make our way through to the best. Now, I don't think that there are too many shockers in there. Once we get from like 9th or 10th worst, I think they're all quite nice. And they could all sort of be swapped out from like 9th to about 1st. But there are 2 or 3 in there that I'm not a huge fan of. I spoke about one that I saw in person that I thought was really nice. One that looks terrible on my computer screen is, I'm sorry Ross County fans, but your home shirt for this season. So they have apparently retained the traditional blue and red colours, of course, as you can see. This is apparently a modern design, and Sky Sports website even called it a smart design. And yeah, look, as you can see, it is a bit modern, it is a bit garish. I'm not a huge fan of the Joma not being centred with the badge. It looks like it's like aligned with the top of the badge. But yeah, look, I mean, the design, it's a little bit out there. Maybe it's one of them ones that you're gonna have to see up close to like get an appreciation of. But for me, it's the worst one of the bunch this year. Sorry, Staggies fans. In 11th place are St Mirren. I think I had St Mirren's kits fairly high up last season. I'm sure I had their away kit as maybe the best. I can't remember now, but apparently this shirt was chosen as the home strip of the Paisley side by the supporters club. Look, it features the black and white design of the club, which is so synonymous with St Mirren. For some reason, look, the Joma on this one is centered, which I like a little bit more. The badge and the J of the Joma are sort of within the black stripes, as you can tell there. But yeah, for me, it's just a little bit too basic. It's nice, don't get me wrong, it's okay, it's not a bad shirt. I just feel like, what else can you do with black and white stripes sometimes? It's all right, like I say, there's not too many stinkers this year. It's just a bit basic for me. And that's why it's in at number 11. You may have noticed the theme with the first 2. We got a couple of Jomas kicking us off towards the bottom of the league in terms of kits this year. But next up is a Macron kit. Let's move on to Motherwell. Here we go. So looking at it, is apparently a throwback kit from the side's 1980s sort of looks, apparently. It's obviously got the traditional claret and amber colours there, with a wide stripe through the middle and the Paycare sponsor there. There seems to be a lot of space below where Paycare is and like where the rest of the shirt goes, and it seems very, very close to the Macron and to the Motherwell. I do like shirts with collars, and again, it isn't the worst shirt in the world. It's actually all right. I just think there's better this year. A little bit basic, not a huge fan of the sponsor and where it sits. But yeah, look, it's all right, and it's number 10. This isn't a Joma / Macron blasting video, it really isn't, but next up we do have another Macron kit, and it is that of St Johnstone. I'm so sorry, St Johnstone fans. You always seem to come out quite badly on my kit ranking videos or my badge ranking videos. I absolutely love your club and love your fan base. But again, this isn't a bad kit. Look at it, it's basic, it's all right, and I think everyone else will agree that it's basic. Again, I can't fully remember where I had the Saints kits last year, but if I remember rightly, they weren't too high up. But yeah, it's look a little bit basic. There are better designs out there this year. Last year's kits had yellow on them, whereas this is just the blue and the white. I actually do quite like the blue and the white. I think it's very St Johnstone, isn't it? Do you know what? It's all right. I'm not a huge fan of the Bin Group sponsor either, but again, Macron, they've gone sort of easy with the design. look, it's all right, it's number 9. The St Johnstone kit is quite nice, and from St Johnstone upwards, I would say they're all kind of nice kits from now on. But next up is an Umbro number, and it is Heart of Midlothian. I had actually thought of putting Hearts a little bit lower, actually. I think their away kit this year is really, really nice. And I was really tossing up whether to put Hearts a little bit lower in this video, but I put them in at 8th. You know, it's kind of lower mid-table, isn't it? And as you can see, it is a little bit basic. I do love that they have the M&D charity as their sponsor and have done for a number of years now. Of course, linked to their former captain, Marius Zaliukas, who sadly died from the disease. So yeah, the M&D charity being their sponsor is fantastic, don't get me wrong. But I do just think that, again, it is a little bit basic. It's apparently meant to be reminiscent of their Scottish Cup win in 2012. But yeah, I mean, it does still look a little bit 2012. It looks a little bit dated and sort of not in a good way. I know a lot of teams, and we'll come on to a few later, who have gone a bit retro with their kits, which is a good thing to do. I know a lot of clubs like to hark back to olden times, and it's funny when you see dads, I guess, who will remember the teams playing in the old kits, buying them for their sons, and they look kind of similar now. I do like that about shirts, that they do go retro sometimes, and this is meant to be a hark back to 2012. It's like, it's only 10 years ago. It's not really retro, it's not really current, it's sort of like a little bit of an in-between stage, and it's all right. The collar's not my favourite on it, but you know, it's just a standard Umbro shirt. The colour's very Hearts, isn't it? And the MND is very Hearts, and obviously the badge in the Umbro, like, no frills, no spills, 8th. Next up is a Macron kit, and I think this is the highest Macron kit that I will have, and it is Dundee United. We just spoke there about Hearts being a hark back to 2012. This is a hark back to the 82-83 season. You can even see it in the badge there, look, the DUFC. I think the shorts might have the regular Dundee United badge, but I think the just the shirt is going to have the older kind of like logo with just the letters. But yeah, it's supposed to bring back memories of United's historic Scottish League winning campaign of the 82-83 season, which was 40 years ago. On the back, apparently, is a bespoke message in memory of the Premier, or the top tier title win. The design is okay. It has a bit of a modern twist to it with the Macron and obviously down the side and stuff. Not a massive fan of the sponsor. There's a lot of like empty space on it, but it's alright, it's nice, it's retro, it's got the old badge on there. It's got a collar, which I kind of like as well. So yeah, Dundee United firmly mid-table. Next up, Rangers fans, somewhere you're not too familiar with being is mid-table, but in this video, I'm sorry to say that you are. Look, I think even the Rangers fans will agree it's a fairly simple design. I think Castor have played it safe this year, especially with what they had last year with the kind of golden hark back for the 150-year kit. I actually would have had this a lot lower. When I first saw pictures of it come out online, I was like, oh god, I really wasn't a fan. I thought it looked more like a training top. And I know Ellis of Away Days has spoken a lot about gambling sponsors not being his favourite on shirts, and to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of them as well on there. But I think the shirt, I've seen it a little bit more in person, having made a few Rangers videos, and it does come across a lot nicer in person, hence why it's moved up a little bit in my estimation, but it's still only sort of mid-table. There's a checkerboard print on the front and a thin red stripe on each side, look on the arms and on the collar there as well. Yeah, like I said last season, it was sort of an anniversary kit with the anniversary badge, but it's back to the white lettering now this season for Rangers. Castor, they're all right making kits. They're not my favourite kit manufacturer in the world. I think Hummel have done a fantastic job in recent years. Although I had Hearts fairly low, I think Umbro have had a few good kits. Nikes are obviously always really standard. I think Adidas are kind of mid-ground sometimes. They can have some really good ones, a few stinkers or whatever, but I think Castor are sort of middle of the road. I don't think it's a terribly bad kit, and even Rangers fans, you can probably agree that if you didn't have a great season this season, didn't really win anything big, this kit probably wouldn't be remembered for a long time. I feel like kits are always synonymous with like football moments, aren't they? Like my Lucas here. We weren't that great, and so people don't really remember these kits. that much, but like Liverpool's Champions League winning kit will be like heroic forever, the one that Origi scored in. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of the case with this kit. If Rangers do well this year, it'll be seen as like a classic in years to come, but if not, it'll probably just be forgotten about. Hibs last year had their badge over where Leith falls within. They had the map of Edinburgh on their kit, didn't they? As I know I've slagged off Joma a little bit with Ross County and with St Mirren, but here I'm giving Joma a 5th place spot with Hibs. It obviously has the green and white colours, which is synonymous with the club. But look, Easter Road is on the front of the kit, and that right there is the West Stand, which is on the kit this year. Last year it was the map of Edinburgh. This year it's the West Stand. I like that they've sort of added a few different touches like that to the kits in recent years, Hibs. I think actually Hibs' kit last season actually looked a little bit better in person than what it did sort of online or whatever. But yeah, the strip is apparently made 100% of recycled polyester, meaning that Hibs are going for the greenest club in Scotland with their sort of marketing for the kit. So they are green in the colour of the club, and they're also green in terms of like their kit has been made by recycled materials or whatever. So yeah, fair play Hibs. It is a nice kit. It's got Easter Road on there. Can't go wrong. Aberdeen are next, and it's all right. Look, as you can see, I do have it quite high up on the list. It's not sort of top 1 and 2, which is where I think we get into really, really nice territory, but it is quite a nice shirt. I will give Aberdeen that this year. It is inspired, again, like Dundee United's, by some success they had 40 years ago. 40 years ago this season was when Aberdeen won the Cup Winners' Cup under Sir Alex Ferguson. The kit features a white pinstripe design, which was synonymous with their victory in Gothenburg in 1983. And yeah, look at that. It is nice. It is more of like a paler red, isn't it? But yeah, pinstripes hark back to the good old days. I know they have a Fergie statue now at Pittodrie, which I'm going to have to see. So yeah, Aberdeen, top 4 spot for you. If this was real football, you'd be playing Conference League next season. So top 3 in the kits. 3rd, I'm going for Celtic. The thing that I always sort of don't like about Celtic's kits is they are so similar always to like the season before. This one is just about different enough to have it sort of a little bit higher up in my estimations this year. Again, Dafabet is the sponsor, which, as I've said, not a huge fan of. But look, I do like the way that they have a sort of different design within the sort of green of the shirt. I like it. It's got the star, obviously, which is in silver, and that really fits in nicely, I think, to the design of the shirt. They've not gone with any like yellow or golden trim this year, but yeah, I do like the way that instead of just having like solid green on the hoops, they've got that kind of nicer design in there. And I do believe that the Adidas stripes are like a silver metallic colour as well, which again ties in nicely to the star. So I do actually like Celtic's kit. Seen it up close once or twice as well, which again, it always seems to just raise it a little bit in your estimations. But yeah, looking at it now, it's all right. Again, the only drawback for me as a Celtic fan, if I was one, would be you're getting a kit every year and they're basically the same. But what can you do with like hoops or whatever? It's always going to be fairly similar, isn't it? So yeah, Celtic, nice kit this year, 3rd. So we're about to find out whose kit I saw up close, which was sort of the inspiration for this video. But before I tell you about them, and you'll be able to tell who it is by the power of elimination, in 2nd is Kilmarnock. So Kilmarnock have a lovely kit this year. I think Hummel have done a fantastic job in recent years. They do make some fantastic kits, they really, really do. The only thing that is a bit of a drawback for me is the collar. I'm not a massive fan of the collar there, but in general I think it's great. I like that the sponsor fits within it as well. Browning's the Bakers. It's the same colour as Kilmarnock, so it all does kind of tie in quite nicely. I like the stripes. I like the blue on the arms as well, and the kind of arrows pointing down from the shoulders too. This is apparently a tribute to some kits they wore in the mid-90s, from 94 to 96, with blue being the dominant colour and with thin white stripes. Yeah, it's something I've probably not too used to seeing Killy play in, is like a more solid blue with like thinner stripes or whatever, but no, it is really nice. And Killy back in the Premiership from the Championship. We'll be doing it in style this year with a lovely Hummel kit. And so finally, Livingston fans, congratulations on being #1 this year. I don't actually, honestly, like, don't think it looks that amazing in picture, but when I saw it in the club shop the other day, I was actually really like wowed by it. And yeah, when I was thinking of doing this video, once I saw that, I was like, right, I've got to do it just to big up the Livy kit, honestly. Like, I think it's really, really nice. They've just gone back to their traditional yellow for this season after an all-black home kit last year. So they've completely changed their colour from black to yellow, which you obviously don't see clubs do too often, do you? You don't see them change their home kit colour too often, but they have a V-neck collar with a strip which features sort of a narrow vertical black and white stripe, while the socks are trimmed with black as well. But yeah, look at that. I think the collar and up close, it looks really, really nice as well. This is one that in years to come I think will be a classic. The Phoenix Drilling Limited, it's an okay sponsor on there as well. I like that they've got the sort of black sort of writing on there. That kind of does fit in quite nicely with it. But yeah, I just think the overall design of the shirt is something a little bit different and looks really, really nice. I think their shirts last season were terrible. I'm pretty sure I had them bottom of maybe the away or the home. Again, I can't really remember anymore. But this year, Livingston, you've won the kits for me, especially the home kit. I think it's fantastic. I might do an away kit video if the comments aren't too harsh. But who do you think has the nicest kit in the Scottish Premiership this season? The home kits, of course. And what about the aways? Let me know in the comments section below who you have got top of the Prem, or maybe do your 1 to 12. I know that some people will write theirs down as well. So yeah, do you agree with Celtic being that high and Aberdeen being that high? And what about Ross County? Are you a fan of their new garish design? Let me know in the comment section below. I just want to say a massive thank you to the channel members as well. I'll put their names on screen. A huge thank you, guys. If you want to become a channel member, you can now by clicking the join button. I do post updates on there that you wouldn't necessarily see on Instagram, Twitter, or anything like that. So yeah, guys, a massive, massive thank you to the members. I couldn't do it without all your support and the subscribers as well, and the people who hit the like button. So yeah, loads of content coming this year. A huge thank you for watching. I'll leave some videos on screen. Please do click them on to carry on watching. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.